Could be life-changing for a Greece native. She goes before the investors on ABC's Shark Tank, seeking money to support her new business. She told us even though she was terrified by the opportunity, she could not pass it up.
The inspiration for it really in my head, it was like, it's kind of like a hammock. It's, you know, a loose piece of fabric until you stretch it to its max and then it supports you. It's easy.
It was not easy to create her business, but Athena Kasvikis was not deterred. Her idea to create a better bra was born out of her own experience. She paired her degree from the Simon School with her business experience, and Behave Bra was born.
Success for me is getting women to a better place with their bodies. You know, I have been there. It's never been you. It's always been the bra.
So, Kasvikis designed the bra she wanted to wear. Her company began selling them online in March of 2020. Last year, it caught the attention of producers on the hit show Shark Tank. And Kasvikis went on, pitching her product, vying for an investor. A chance to go big time. And Kasvikis is ready, but also mindful of her motivation.
You can make money doing anything. But at the end of the day, like with my mother, I need to look in the mirror and be like, I'm a good person. I'm doing well for other people. It's not just about capitalism. It's about more than that. It's about social kind of capitalism.
Now, Kasvikis could not reveal what happened during her appearance on Shark Tank, but she did say she believes it will help her business. You can watch tonight at 8 here on 13 Wham ABC.
All right, John, thanks. Even with the snow in the forecast, tomorrow Rochester is ready to celebrate the Luck of the Irish, bringing back the annual St. Patrick's Day Parade.
And that means the painting of the green this morning, that traditional green stripe from East and Alexander all the way to Main Street, marking that parade route.
And as 13 Wham's Dalton Williams shares with us now, people are getting ready to have some fun during a Rochester favorite.
Yes, Doug. The city is finally able to return to a sense of normalcy with the time-honored favorite, the St. Patrick's Day Parade. A time-honored tradition returns to Rochester this weekend for the first time since 2019.
Everybody downtown loves the parade, so it brings tens of thousands of people down, and I think it'll be a great boost to all the businesses downtown who could really use it.
The COVID pandemic forced the cancellation of the St. Patrick's Day festivities for the last 2 years.
It was the first big event that was canceled right before the pandemic, just 2 days before. So, you know what? We're always so impressed that the parade just brings everybody together from all walks of life in our community.
The Hilton Garden Inn is the headquarters and host of this year's parade.
Everyone from everywhere is coming here for this parade because it's been a long time since a big group of people have been able to come together and do something like this.
It's also usually one of the busiest days of the year for restaurants and bar owners downtown. Louis Mayer, owner of Recreo on East Avenue, says he's ready.
I can tell you that specifically like the East Ave area, even Monroe Ave and into Park, Alexander, we see an increase in business on this day, and that's because of the amount of people that are coming down into the city.
While the snow expected this weekend may appear unlucky, city crews will be out salting and plowing ahead of the parade. Mayor says the parade will draw in big crowds no matter the weather.
I've either lived in or been a part of this community, specifically here in this district, for 9 years now, and we've had the 70-degree day, we've had the 20, and it's never really stopped people.
Various events will be held throughout the day, starting tonight, leading up to the parade, which starts at 12:30 Saturday afternoon.
Monroe County Executive Adam Bello announcing Monroe County's first case of coronavirus.
And that is Ginny Ryan announcing that breaking news during our 11 o'clock broadcast 2 years ago tonight. The virus was confirmed in our community at that time.
I had that moment. Here we go. We know what to do. We've been talking about it, and I got in my car and I went right to the Department of Health.
You might recall how you felt hearing that news. The Monroe County Executive and the Health Commissioner certainly do. Monroe County's first case was confirmed hours after the World Health Organization declared the pandemic. I sat down with County Executive Adam Bello and Dr. Michael Mendoza this week to talk about March 11th, 2020. Weeks before we talked about masking or swabbed our nostrils for the first time, even before we learned of that first confirmed local case, Adam Bello, the brand new Monroe County executive, had a scary thought.
I'll never forget, I was driving home from Albany one day, back in, I think it was probably January, February, and it suddenly occurred to me, I really don't know what we should do when this gets here. But my job is to understand who does know the answers and to bring those people to the table.
The night he learned of that first case in our community, Bello drove straight to the health department where Dr. Mendoza's team was assembled. Mendoza and Bello had met for the first time just a few months earlier.
And Dr. Mendoza called and said, we have our first positive case. And I got in my car and I went right to the Department of Health because I wanted to see it firsthand so you can see it, experience it, understand what we're going to do. And away we went.
We had been doing drills for these things for all of my time in the health department. And to see them come together, for me to ask of them, this is what we need to do, this is what the community needs, and then come back the next day and say, we need more. And they didn't blink an eye. And they're still doing it now.
Neither man could know that it would be years, not months, that in March of 2022, the pandemic would not yet be declared over.
We actually were talking about weeks back then. This was weeks. And honestly, that was one thing I think that if we could have realized earlier and been able, maybe one thing looking back at it, to be done differently was talk more long-term about this.
And when it came to the closed schools, Bello says he knew they would not be reopening that year.
It suddenly occurred to me, schools aren't opening again. Because it suddenly occurred to me, this isn't going anywhere. We don't have vaccines, we don't have all this, the numbers just keep going up, the hospital cases.
Fast forward to today, cases are down and a pandemic-weary public is ready for all of this to be over.
While we can take this moment to take a proverbial sigh of relief for a little bit, I do think that in the public health sphere, we all need to keep our guard up a little bit.
Dr. Mendoza says the emergence of the latest variant called BA2 is not a surprise, and he understands that people want to declare the pandemic over, but we're simply not there, at least not yet. Coming up at 6, a difficult but defining moment early on in the pandemic that helped shape how the county would deal with COVID.